I originally painted this sunflower for social media, but it quickly became one of my favourites. So many of you absolutely loved it too, and I just had to bring it over to YouTube. Watch how it comes to life, and it's beginner friendly. Let's paint a sunflower. Start with a rough circle in the centre of the paper. Activate your colours. I'm using a small Winsor & Newton brush. I'm just using the blacks, the browns, the dark colours from my Daniel Smith. I started off doing some dots, and then I thought, screw that, I might as well just colour it all in. And then I'm just filling out the circle very loosely, very roughly. It does not have to be perfect. And then I went back in with some darker sort of browns and blacks. Keep some little bits of it white. Some sunflowers have got a little bit of a green in the centre, so I've just popped a bit of green in there as well. It's a bit damp, so it is bleeding ever so slightly, which is fine. I'm going to use lemon yellow, activate it, and just a standard brush, nothing fancy, just a round brush. This is the shape we're going to go for. I'll just quickly show you. This is a rough shape that we're aiming for. Use a brush that can create that sort of shape. You can draw it in if you prefer, but I like using the brush to basically cheat and create my petals like this. It's so much easier. Don't worry if a little bit of that centre bleeds into the petal, and don't worry if you're not perfect. You do not have to be perfect. And keep a bit of white in between the petals to start off with, otherwise it will all bleed too much together. We don't want too much of a bleed. All right, this one's touched the brown a bit, so that's exactly what you want. Make up a little bit of a mixture, not too watery, with a hint of like an orange colour. This is like Chinese orange, and just add that in between the yellow petals. I'm in the UK and the weather's actually quite hot, so it is drying fairly quickly, and just work your way around again. Okay, that one is a bit too bright. That's fine, don't worry, we can sort that out in a second. Just work your way around again, and then this one I'm just going to soften it a little bit. We'll leave the petals for now and then go back into the centre. Less water and a bit more pigment now, and we're just going to add a few dots in, various colours. I'm not fussed about where the dots go. This is just going to be the first layer, and just add some dots in, and add some dots in round the edge of the circle. The petals have dried off a little bit, but we're just going to add in another layer. Exactly what you've done. I'm just going in with that orange mixture with a touch more of that orange, and still watery, but not too much water, and just work your way around again. And then we're going to leave the whole thing to dry and then come back to it. Do you see how it's building up though? And it looks like there's loads of petals, loads of layers. There we go, just finishing off the last few petals, and part 2 coming soon. Welcome back to part 2 of painting a sunflower as requested by Holly. Let's mix up some yellow with some Chinese orange and make the colour a bit bolder now. We are going to add a few brighter petals and test it on some scrap paper first. I wanted it a touch more orangey, so let's add a bit more of that orange. There we go, that's lovely, that's beautiful. And then start adding it on to your sunflower. This is all really dry. I am just going to add a bit more orange. That scrap paper isn't the best actually. There we go, that looks better. This is what I go through, by the way, in the background that you don't see, but I wanted you to see some of the mixing and what goes on and how I do it and why I do it. So let's add a few of these petals to a few of the areas, not everywhere. We just want a few of them. And as I think I mentioned it, this is all completely dry. Okay, we're going to pick some darker colours directly from the pan with a small brush and add dots to the centre. Work your way around and have some areas a bit darker than some of the other part of the circle. Then start on the circle, the edge of the circle, and start to be bolder as well. Some of the dots are going to look like they're coming away from the centre, and that's where we've got the illusion to make them look like seeds. Keep going. I know it looks like it is time consuming, but it is so worth it. When you are happy with that bit, we're going to still use a smaller brush now and add a bit more of that orange to that yellow. Then this bit is going to go to the edges of some of the petals. You can choose whichever one you want, but you don't want it on all of them. Just pick a select few, and ideally on one side and maybe not too many on the other side. This is where your sunflower petals are going to start to come alive and start making the painting pop. We're going to make the flower pop. Rinse your brush, dab it a little bit just to take the excess off, and then we're going to soften. Blend and soften. Blend, soften. Blend, soften. There we go. And then still with that same brush, well, I'm using the same brush, we're going to pop in some little veins. I'm not entirely sure if sunflowers do have these little veins, but purely for our picture, we're just going to put a few on there. Again, you don't need to do it all the way around, just a select few, pop a little bit of the veins in, and literally that is just a few little lines. I'm really not thinking about it too much. Don't overthink it, just pop a couple in. The final bit, I can't help it. I need the splatter. It's optional. You don't have to do it if you don't want. You can put a stem in it if you want, and you can add some leaves to it. But that is the sunflower head. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it useful. I'll see you next time.